Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Enigma of Sepia video, and we have our new character drop, and that is, of course, Satoria. So we're going to take a look at that character. We can get into the ins and outs of all the other stuff, but let's just take a look at this character. And first and foremost, just so you're aware, you can try the character out. So that's the good news. So what does this character do? Well, this is the trial version of the character, so we're going to get full stats on this one. But let's go ahead and break down this character. First, for the rage skill, Void Form Purple, the sequential technique Azure, and reversal technique Hermie overlap, generating hypothetical mass and tearing space apart. Attacks all enemies, dealing 109% magical damage, dealing 109% magical damage to all targets, with a 50% chance to apply one layer of Azure 4 turns to the targets. Grants one layer of Reversal Alchemist to the ally with the highest attack, non-stackable. Now, at level 2, the damage increase is going to go to 126%, and the chance to apply the Azure goes to 80%. At level 3, the damage increases to 143%, and grants one layer of Reversal Alchemist to the ally with the highest attack. At 4, that damage boost again goes to 166%, and you get a 100% chance to apply Azure. And at level 5, it goes to 194% damage. There is an additional 30% chance to apply 2 layers of Azure. All right, so let's see what this does, because that's what is going to be key. Azure, minus 5% speed, deals true damage to the carrier equal to 5% max HP, then removes a stack of Azure and the stack of Hermie. If the carrier also carries Hermie, these effects last for 4 turns and do not work on bosses. Reversal Alchemist. The carrier heals by 3% max HP when receiving an attack, disregarding the number of hits, and the healing effect does not stack. Consumes 1 stack to reduce the damage of an incoming hit by 30% if that hit means to deal more damage than 15% max HP. These effects last for 4 turns. The passive, Intimidating Strike, normal attack deals damage to 3 random targets. There is an additional 30% chance to apply 1 layer of Azure. And then at level 2, it's all going to be your percentage increases. 50% chance, level 3, 100% chance. Level 4, in addition to the first layer, there is another 50% chance to apply 1 layer of Hermie. And at level 5, that goes to 75% for that chance of applying Hermie. Now, Hermie does minus 5% damage resist, deals true damage to the carrier equal to 5% max HP, then removes a stack of Azure and a stack of Hermie if the carrier also carries Azure. These effects last for 4 turns and do not work on bosses. Interesting, okay? Because basically Hermie and Azure are doing the same things. So if you have stacks of both, it's going to take 1 off of each time you do it, but it doesn't prevent it if you don't have the other available. Your next passive, at the start of battle, applies 1 layer of Hermie 4 turns to all enemies. And as it levels up, during the first 2 turns of the battle, it applies 1 layer of Hermie to all enemies at the start of each turn. At level 3, during the first 3 turns of battle, applies 1 layer of Hermie to all enemies at the start of each turn. Every 20% decrease in the character's HP ratio grants them 1 layer of Unlimited Tactic. This effect can only trigger once at the same HP ratio. At level 4, during the first 4 turns, and at level 5, applies 1 layer of Hermie to all enemies at the start of each turn. Every 10% decrease in the character's HP ratio grants them 1 layer of unlimited tactic. This effect can only trigger once at the same, basically when you hit that HP ratio threshold. What is unlimited tactic? Plus 5% dodge per stack up to 10 stacks. This effect can't be removed, which basically means you can get a 50% dodge on this character. That's insane. And then the last passive, God, this character is stacked. When unleashing the Fury technique for every additional unit carrying the anti-technique, one's own attack power increases by 3%. There is a lot going on with this character. And quite honestly, I gotta play this character to see how all this works and affects each other. I'm a little confused about this last Void Abyss passive, so gonna have to get some clarification on that. Looking at the joint attack, you can already see where this character is going to shine, and that's of course with Kronos, because you have that instantaneous Stardust with that character, and it looks like it's a 20% rage skill strength, no shocker there. Level 2, 40%. Level 3, rage strength increases by 60% before activation, applies an extra time stop on the enemy with the lowest HP, which is incredible right there. The level 4 rage strength increased by 80% before activation and applies an extra time stop on the enemy with the lowest HP. Wow. And then at level 5, 100% before activation, applies that extra time stop on the enemy with the lowest HP, the same still. And at 6 gives you that 120%, and the time stop applies to all enemies. That's absolutely stupid. That's major endgame, will take forever. Thank God, because that's incredible when you look at that. We're going to try this character out right now on Dark Tower stage 826. I'm not sure how this is going to go. She's not paired up, of course, with the perfect team, but I want to go ahead and take a look at how the character holds up and see what it does. But it's a very interesting character. I'm, like I said, a little confused about that last passive. We'll have to get some more information on that. But it really, when you can actually build this character and Kronos together, they could be an absolutely lethal combo together, especially if you can get up that joint attack, getting all those extra time stops. But we will let this play out, and I would like to take a look at the stats if we get a breakdown. Of course, if we even win this, this has been a pretty difficult level, but let's see what happens here. Of course, it's not necessarily the optimal build. I just threw her in the team I have because it just released. By the way, I do have my first tier list for the game coming in. And of course, it's too soon to tier this character yet. But let's go ahead, and this should, there you can see the Hermie activating, and that last right there again activating. So it is pretty crazy, the continuous nature of it. Really thinking about what this does, these multiple stacks, and the fact of that you get the minus 5% speed, minus 5% damage resist for 4 turns, and stack, and I don't see a limit on the stacks, but again, when you think about it, and I'm thinking about this out loud, it's 4 turns, so they will drop off instantly, start to drop off, so they'll be cycling every 4 turns, but that's a significant amount of true damage when you're thinking 10% of the max HP when you remove, if you're doing the dual stacks at the same time. This could be very good, but I have a sinking feeling, I'm not sure, just looking at this, how applicable this will be low leveled star up, I should say, of the character. It may take a little building and starring up to really get it to work effectively, because that's when you get the higher percentages with all this for these to drop. And of course, if this character is maxed, it's going to be crazy damage when you really start to think about how many stacks are getting put on there every round, and then being then subsequently going off. Let's say it could just be an insane amount of damage. There's no doubt in my mind the character's good. The question is, where's going to be that optimal star up point where it's going to be truly effective? This will be a fun character to build and test out. I'll be really curious to see how good this goes, and I'll try to effectively test this character before each time I star up after a certain breakpoint when all the skills are open. I think that's going to be the key. Getting all the skills open and then test. Then go up another star up, test again, and see where that optimal level is. But again, we have the event out right now. One of the biggest disappointments, though, is the fact that I don't see, and I haven't seen the ability to use the in-game currency to do polls like we have been getting. That's a big disappointment. But on the other hand, in the star redeem area, they did put the character shards, yes, a limit of 10 though. So those are going to be available, as well as more Cronus shards, which is a big plus. And hopefully this will continue in all events where these character shards will always be available to assist you free-to-play players. On top of that, they have a reversal tutorial area where you can build what you need for that shop also. And based on what you have, you can get higher percentages based on where characters are at, as you can see in front of you. So that is a plus. So there is going to be ways to be able to increase what you're going to get for purposes of the shop. You also got Limitless Battle, another area to get that Daifuku, what they're calling the event materials, which is also going to help you. So you got two areas right there to be able to build up that currency, which you should be focusing on to take, hopefully be able to get all the Cronus shards as well as all the Satoria shards. So there we go. Quick overview, quick take on a look at the character. I'll circle back around when I really get a comfort level with this character and what it's going to take. But there's no doubt the character is going to be good. The question is, how good? On paper, it sounds pretty freaking sick with that true damage. So let's see what happens. With that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.